Well, I got a piece of desert ironwood in. I have desert ironwood, but it's not highly figured. And I found this $47 shipped to the house, which is not terribly bad for desert ironwood. And I chose this one because it's a lighter color, and the lighter colors, let me see if I can spray a little water on this. That way that's what it'll look like when it's sanded and buffed. I like it. Okay. So that's for the knife I'm working on now, and the sheath that I've already made. And it's a lighter color, so it will go with that stain. And I ordered, okay, I think I mentioned that I broke my lacing chisel, my stitching fork. And the one I use normally is a 4mm, so I had this 5mm, and I'll tell you, I kind of like the 5mm stitches better than the 4mm. In the meantime, I'd ordered this, thinking I was ordering from an American company, and then when it got right down to paying them, I get a receipt from PayPal, and it's clearly Ching Chang, China, somewhere over there in China. And that's where the money went to, and that's where this came from, is China, shipped to New Jersey, and then to me. But I gotta say, Chemovan Craft, I like. It looks to be pretty well made. It does. I got two of them, 2-prong and a 4-prong. And this is what the holes look like compared to the diamond-shaped lacing chisel. I like the round holes because it doesn't disfigure the leather when you're going in. And this is really disfigured. And then when you sew it, it does not look like a nice clean stitch. And for the life of me, let me tell you a little something I learned about leather working forums. I'm a member of a bunch of knife making forums. And on the knife making forums, man, if you have a question, there's just people that jump right in and tell you what they know, or you know, tell you the mistakes they've made and don't make this mistake. This is what I finally figured out. You know, lots of people helping each other on the knife making forums. And the leather working forums, it's the complete opposite. Nobody will tell you nothing. All they want to do is show off their work and get, you know, looks great, you know, thumbs up and smiley faces. But if you have a question, no one will help you. And this is what I've been looking for. I've been wondering why everybody else's stitches look so much nicer than mine. And then I noticed that they weren't using the same kind of lacing chisel, stitching chisel. It's a stitching chisel. Lacing chisel is different. You use a different needle. You use a lacing needle. And this, I use a stitching needle. I actually have lacing needles, but I've never used them. It's for a different kind of sewing, lacing, but more than sewing. So I like these round holes. I think that's going to look, my stitching is going to look much, much nicer than these here. So I can't wait to try it. So today is Wednesday. I'm going to go to my other shop here in just 2 seconds. And I'm going to cut Plorabilis out. You know, I might just go ahead and call it Deplorable, because Plorabilis, nobody knows what that means, and most people aren't going to go and look it up. And so I think I will change the name to Deplorable. And I'm calling it Deplorable 45, XLV 45, but I'm just going to call it Deplorable. And here's the reason. You know, I liked Trump when he was in office. And if you said, do you like America now, when China Joe has been at the helm for these 2.5, 3 years now? Or do you like America better when Trump was at the helm? And 100%, I liked the country better. The country was doing better. The world liked America better when Trump was our president. And he was trying to get us out of wars and places that we shouldn't be sticking our nose in. And Biden just keeps finding more and more and more people to give our tax dollars to and send missiles to and tanks and kill people over. And yeah, what do you want? Do you like this country we're living in now, or do you prefer? You may not even like Trump, but do you prefer the country you had then, or do you prefer the country we got now, on the brink of collapse? Uh, our oil reserves are nearly depleted. We're buying oil from our enemies. That shouldn't be enemies, but they've made them enemies. And we're sending money that we could use here for the millions and millions and millions of people they've allowed into the country with no vetting and just letting them wander the streets homeless or live in high rent motels and the taxpayer foots the bill. Yeah, what would you prefer? Energy independence and everybody had a job and people who wanted to buy homes could buy homes and could afford them? Or do you prefer the country now? So, I am not a fanboy of Donald Trump, but I am definitely a fan of the country when he was running it. So, Trump's got a lot of things I dislike. He's got a big mouth. He's got a huge ego. I think he's kind of childish with his tweets and his revenge tactics, which really is no different than what the Democrats are doing. The constant bullying on Republicans and rather than get the business of running this country done, they snipe back and forth at each other. It's just a joke. They're all embarrassing. But I much prefer the country when Trump was running it. So there you go. So that's the name of this knife, Deplorable 45. And I think Nancy Pelosi, the worst thing she could have ever done is in her career was galvanized the determination of people who wanted to vote for Trump when she called everybody who wanted to vote for Trump. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Nancy Pelosi. It was Hillary Clinton. What do they call her? Cankles? I think they call her Vince Foster. Vince Foster didn't shoot himself. Anyway, she said anybody who was for Trump, she considered to be in a basket of deplorables. And I thought that was hilarious. Anybody as despicably corrupt and horrible as Hillary Clinton calling anyone else deplorable was hilarious. So anyway, the knife heretofore shall be known as deplorable. And, I'm going to drop the Latin plorabilis, which means deplorable. So I'm going to cut another deplorable out. Somebody has an interest in it. I got to send them a bunch of pictures of some wood that I have available. And this, I'm going to finish this knife that I'm working on. This is the one that I've already got the sheath started for and the knife started for. And when I finish that knife, there's a person I'm going to offer it to who expressed somewhat of an interest. And if they want it, I'm going to sell it to them. And if not, I'll offer it for sale. Then this next one I'm building, it's tentatively sold as well. Maybe not. I'm going to send pictures of wood and let them pick his wood. And, once a person picks the wood and the color of their pins, I'm pretty sure they want the knife. So anyway, I'm going to go cut that knife out and get it started. It's just too late in the afternoon and too cold out here to do much. So I'm going to go do that now. Have a good Thursday, y'all. Oh, no big news at the doctor. I got to go through that process, the drinking the stuff. And they are, in fact, they're going to go in through here and around back. So I'm going to have twice the pleasure. But play on words there. However, I'm getting the ball started, and until my wife and I told my wife, I just can't keep thinking about this, man. So I'm going to kind of bury myself in making knives, and I'll answer my phone when they call me with an appointment, and then I'll go to that appointment, and just one day at a freaking time. I just can't go through this again and worrying, and, I feel so good that the thought of something taking that away from me is just frightening. And for 2 years, I suffered terribly. And compared, now and then, it's like night and day. Anyway, I'm talked enough. Have a good Thursday, all.